Let's say for this effect, I hand the deck over to the participant and they give it a shuffle. After they're done shuffling the deck, I would explain to the participant that we need 16 cards taken out of the deck from anywhere. So, just to keep things simple, we will go with the top 16 cards, but they can really be from anywhere in the deck. So, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. The rest of the cards can go away. So now the participant can shuffle up these 16 cards. Once they're done shuffling the 16 cards, I would ask them to look at the very bottom card and remember it. I don't want to see the bottom card, so I will show it to you, but I promise I'm not looking. So maybe I'll hold it up a little more. I'm not too sure because I'm not looking, but I hope you can see that. So, after the participant has remembered the bottom card, I would explain to them that we're going to play a little game called Duck and Deal. So, either they can do this or I can do this, but the very top card is going to go to the bottom of the deck. That is called a duck. The next card gets dealt on the table. That's a deal. We are going to keep ducking and dealing until we have one card left in our hand. So either the participant or myself can do this. It doesn't matter who. And that very bottom card, or that very last card we get, I should say, is going to be our helper card. So let's see what card we have. And it's okay if I look at this card. So in this case, we have the Eight of Hearts. The Eight of Hearts can now go face up on top of the pack, and you can cut the packet, and you can complete the cut. And now you can keep cutting the packet as much as you would like. After the packet is done being cut, either the participant or myself can take the packet, and now we can deal two piles going back and forth. And what we're going to do with this back and forth is we're going to try to, or we're not going to try, but we're actually going to use the packet that has the face up card. So these are going to go away. We're going to keep this dealing until we actually have one face down card with the helper card. So right here on the third try. Now, participant, yes or no? Do you see your card here? No, you do not. Okay. For the first time, name your card out loud. Let's say they do that right now. And I hope that this is your card, the Ace of Diamonds. That is the effect. If you would like to learn how to do this, stick around for the tutorial. Before I get into the tutorial, the cards that I'm using for today are the Piracy playing cards. I have a deck review on these. I will link that in the description. So this is a really nice effect, and I'm going to show you the original way, which I just did. And then at the end, I will give some hints and some tips for those more advanced people out there. So for this, the deck can be shuffled, and after it's done being shuffled, you need 16 cards taken out. We will just use the 16 here. So these can also be shuffled, and once the participant is done shuffling these, they're going to look at the bottom card and remember it. Just to make things easy, we will go with the bottom card, the Ace of Spades. Okay? Normally this would be face down, but I'm going to leave it face up. So they would shuffle the packet in their hand, and then you would say, look at that bottom card and remember it. If you do this, psychologically, that should put in their head to do the same thing, and then they can see the bottom card. But if they get confused, you could cut off in some and say, look at the bottom card and remember it. And by the way, you are not remembering anything. except what to tell them. So once they remember the ace, you explain that you're going to play a little game called Duck and Deal. So it doesn't matter who starts off, okay, but you want to make sure you can do this correctly. So you say the top card is going to go to the very bottom of the packet. That is a duck. The next top card goes on the table. That is a deal. So we have a duck and a deal. So you're gonna keep doing this until you have one card left. And it doesn't matter who does this, you just want it done correctly. That very last card you have is actually going to be your helper card. But we are gonna see actually how far the ace is down in the packet. So this card is okay if you look at it, the 10 of diamonds. So normally the card, you're not going to show this. I'm just doing it for tutorial sake. Their card is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 cards down. So what you're going to do is you're going to now deal 2 piles either from left to right or right to left. And you are always going to use the pile that the helper card is in. If you do this 3 times, it's gonna work. So you're gonna start dealing, or the participant can. And if you notice, their card is always gonna end up in the pile with the helper card. So we will go through this again. And we will go through this one more time. And just like this, you would have one face down card. You can show the rest of the cards and ask the participant, do you see your card in here? No. What was your card for the first time? The ace of spades. And they can turn it over and reveal the ace of spades with the 10. Do it this way. The 10 of diamonds. So that is the original way, the beginner way. I hope you really enjoyed that. So now here is something those more advanced people can do. You don't have to take out 16 cards to begin with. You could first start off by having the deck shuffled. Now these cards are still new and slippery, so if anything goes flying, you will know why. But anyway, you're going to have a card selected, and what you want to do essentially is controller card 16th down in the bottom. So there are 2 ways I would go about this. So let's say they have the King of Hearts. Before they look at their card, I would say, okay, before you look at it, I'm going to turn around, and immediately when I turn around, I'm going to continue talking, but I'm going to be pushing off in groups of 3. And I say, okay. So before you look at that card, I'm turned around now. I want you to go ahead, look at the card, and remember it. And now, if you notice, I'm actually counting by groups of 3 up to 15 because their card needs to be 16 for this to work. So I turn around and I say, okay. I want you to look at the card and I want you to show it around to everyone. And now I'm just counting. So here's how you're going to do that. So 3, 6, 9, 12, 13, 14, 15, just like that. And if we look, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 groups of 3 is going to get you 15 for this to work. So I say, okay, and I'm turned around now. So here is the pattern. They took out the card. I turn around. I say, okay, I want you to go ahead, look at your card, and remember it. Once I push off 15, I put my pinky in there. I can put the rest on top, and now I have a break under 15. So they look at their card, and now you can either do a Marlowe tilt or a bluff pass. I will leave a link for both in the description, but also keep in mind, feel free to do any other control that gets the job done. You just want their card 15th down in the deck now to be 16. So you turn around after they remember it, you take back the card, you do some control. If you want to, you could do a false cut. It's not necessary. I'll leave a link for some false cuts, and you say, okay, let's go ahead and take some cards. We don't need the whole deck. And all you're doing now is just counting 5 groups of 3 and one more for 16. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. One more card. There is their selection. You can say, I think that's enough. Put the deck away. Their card is on the bottom, and you are all set now to do the effect. So, this was the video. I hope you really enjoyed this one. If you are new here, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you next time with a new effect. Bye.